Today on the channel, he's large, but is he in charge? Super 7 Ultimate Edition, Black Strap, Andre the Giant.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Super 7 Ultimate Edition unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we've got our fourth rendition of Andre the Giant in the Super 7 Ultimate Edition line with the black strap, Andre the Giant. But for all your Andre the Giant needs and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%, and of course, anything over $39 does ship free. Gotta get a deal, as we do know. But like I said, no stranger to Andre the Giant here, and of course we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging, we're going to talk about it, we're going to unbox it, we're going to talk about it, and we'll do some comparisons to some other Andre the Giant figures later on in this very video. But let's start it off, let's take a look at the old packaging first. Of course, you get the Andre the Giant mailer box. We've seen these before, always good to protect the Ultimate Edition figures, of course. But looking really nice there. Off to the races. See you later off to the side. Now we get Andre the Giant in the Super 7 Ultimate packaging. Very similar to all Super 7 Ultimate packaging as of right now, of course. But beautiful packaging on this one. 8th Wonder of the World. What's it say? 7'2", 520 pounds. Always like the slip cover on these. Looks really good. Got an interesting shot of Andre wearing the old black strap right there. There he is once again. And on the back of the package, Andre the Giant action figure. Action figure. There you go. Then, of course, like usual, we pull off the old slip case to reveal the figure. There it is, off to the side. See you later. And we've had some issues with Andre the Giant, to put it mildly, with the Super 7 Ultimates line. How's this going to shake out? Well, we're going to find out very soon, but there's old Andre in the package. I do like the packaging on the wrestling figures for Super 7. They put that kind of ring cardboard. I love how it wraps around, makes it look like kind of a ring going there. I just really do think this looks good. Of course, you get the big bubble packaging there, the plastic looking really nice. Just really, really cool. Andre the Giant, you got the extra accessories, extra heads with old Andre here. Ropes wrap around, of course. Then you get the back of the packaging, and that's where the magic happens. That's where the blurb happens. Let's read about our old friend Andre the Giant. See what he's up to since last time. Height 7'2", 520 pounds, from Grenoble, France. Absolutely wonderful this time of year. Shout out to you, Grenoble, France. Andre the Giant, born Andre Rene Roussimoff, captivated the hearts and minds of wrestling fans around the world. Revered for his immense stature, the 8th Wonder of the World became a legend for his many achievements in the ring and his appearances on the big screen. So good for Andre right there. Let's cut him out of the plastic prison. We got a nice little write-up here. Zero issues with the packaging on this one. And I think most of you guys and gals, of course, that are watching this, I think you would all agree the packaging is really, really nice on these figures. It's just goes a little south of the figure department, but we'll see how it goes here. There's the old backdrop there, a little bit of shining lights, looking really good. Of course, I do save my Super 7 packaging off to the side. See you later. We'll see how long I can keep that up for, though, as we lose a hand out of the plastic prison. Going south in a hurry already. But there's Andre in the plastic prison. Looks like we only got one twist tie, so I'm not going to need to take this offline by the looks of things. By the looks of things, hardest working scissors on YouTube right there. Off to the races. See you later. And let's pop all this out. We got all kinds of extra hands. I tell you what, reuse is really the name of the game, as we're seeing with Andre here. Of course, they got the body mold down. They got all the extra hands going on. And then you just get some different heads and a little bit different, in this instance, the strap. You could have had a robe. You could have had different things. But they're getting the most out of their molds, as we always do say, with Super 7 and, heck, Mattel, any toy line. And crunch, crunch, there it is, off the races. See you later. All about the off to the side see you laters here today. But let's break this down and let's take a look at these accessories first, then we'll dive into the heads, then we'll dive into the body here. But we get the usual plethora of hands for Andre the Giant here. No fist. Oh, I was going to say no fist. What are we doing? But he's got 2 fists of fury out of the package. Andre came out mad, especially after his yellow figure didn't go over well with the crowd. He said, I'm in a fighting mood now, and I got fists on this figure. So kudos to you, Andre. I like what I see right there. You get kind of maniacal gripping hands going on with Andre. We got those. We got 2, yes, 2 karate chop saluting hands, high-fiving hands maybe. We do have those right there. And then we do get 2 gripping hands, and you got to have the gripping hands here to hold, of course, the beer can that we get with every Andre the Giant. This one, no different than the others. This beer is just called straight up Giant Beer is what it is. But we always get the beer can with the Andres. Makes a lot of sense. I'm here for that. Very cool feature. Get the most out of your molds, as we always do say. Now we get down to the old brass tacks here. We're going to dive into Andre the Giant. We're going to go through all 3 heads first. So let's see what all the fuss is about. Is there fuss, and is it the right kind of fuss? That's what we're getting to with here. But I've got to say, this Andre the Giant head that is stock on the body, it looks like Andre the Giant to me. It's not as rough as the yellow Andre the Giant heads for sure. Is it the best Andre the Giant head in the world? No, it's not. But I think most people, if you hand this to them, say, hey, this is a wrestling figure head. Who is it? I think they're going to figure out this is Andre the Giant. You get a little bit of that shadowing, not as heavy, and it wasn't even really heavy before, but you do get some of that shadowing of the 5 o'clock shadow, but I think it is a better amount on this one, or at least it looks more normal. The hair looking really good on this one. You got the black kind of curly hair that Andre always did have. He has 2 ears like any human would, unless you're Vincent Van Gogh or something, and then you're mailing your ear to somebody. But it's just a regular plain Jane face on Andre, which also probably helps this, because sometimes when you get a little fancy with the face department, things do go south. But I don't have any problems with the head sculpt on this one. I think that straight out of the package, head sculpt is okay for Andre. But now we dive into some of these other ones, and that's where the rubber hits the road, and this is interesting. And now, here's the thing with this. You're getting 3 heads, so this is probably the one the majority of people are going to want to use, just from what I'm seeing so far. But you get the crazy eye to Andre the Giant. Of course, there's memes out there of this with Andre giving the old big eyes. The Bob Uecker choking, very famous scene, of course, from WrestleMania back in the day. But that's what they're trying to duplicate here with Andre the Giant. The big eyes looking down, all crazy. It does work, and once again, I think most people will know this as Andre the Giant. Is it the greatest likeness ever? It is not, but for what Super 7 does, and for what this is, I do think both these heads do look like Andre the Giant. But it is a crazy, zany one, which we've got a lot of regular Andre the Giant heads. Maybe you want to go the crazy, zany route. I'm up in the air. As of right now, we'll see what I end up doing. But we do get that head there. And then the last one, probably the most controversial head in the renders, and the most controversial right now. It's the side-eyed Andre the Giant, mouth open, with the crazy teeth going on. You know, there's always the joke that Andre had like a double set of human teeth or something. I don't think that was necessarily the case, but a lot of people talked about that. One big difference here on this 3rd head sculpt than the other 2 is you got the long Mike Nesmith sideburns going on. Huge Monkees fan, of course, Andre the Giant, as we do know. He also loved the song Joanne. He loved singing that one. Different drum, of course. He loved a lot of those Mike Nesmith, even Linda Ronstadt songs. But Mike Nesmith sideburns looking really good on Andre, because I'm a sucker for sideburns, especially Ken Shamrock back in TNA. Man, those were some sideburns. But this is the roughest head sculpt. This is the most controversial head sculpt of this pack. There's no doubt about it. A little too red in the gums, I think. But Andre, he had some yellow teeth. He was not a fan of the old toothbrush, and apparently not a fan of going to the old dentist to talk to Mr. Thirsty, as my dentist calls it. Oh, get Mr. Thirsty. They suck the water and the toothpaste out of your mouth with or whatever. My kids love it, trust me. But very interesting with the big teeth there. It's definitely different. It's definitely the weakest of the 3 head sculpts for me. But if you like crazy, zany things, or maybe you really love this, I could see somebody being here for this. But it's okay. It's okay. I'll give it, I don't know if I'll give it a pass. I don't know what I'll give this. It is what it is. How about that? There it is. There's the 3rd head there. But now we get over to Andre here, and a lot of similarities we get with Andre the Giant figures. Let's walk through the articulation real quick. Of course, arms do go all the way around. Got the old bicep cut. Single jointed elbows, we do know that with Super 7, they're always single jointed. You get the removable hands back and forth. Of course, you got 2 fists of fury on him, as he needs to have. You do get the side waist there, you get the cut there right in his singlet, and then you do get a little hula hoop at the top. You do those big old Andre the Giant splits, because he was known for his splits in his younger years, of course. Single jointed knees, you do get a boot cut, and then you do get ankles back and forth, side to side. So pretty plain Jane articulation, but let's be honest, this isn't Spider-Man. I think this works for a guy like Andre. Next up, we take a look at the skin tone color, and once again, we got kind of that weird skin tone color shading going on. Of course, the yellow Andre the Giant, the most controversial of the bunch, let's be honest, had a little bit of a jaundice to him, a little bit of weird plastic. This still does have a weird plastic to it, but I gotta say, it looks better in hand than I was anticipating based on some of the pictures I've seen on social media floating around. He does have some of that weird kind of tanness. It's like he's tanned right here between his pecs. He's got some tanness on his arms. He's got 2 spots over here. I could probably go without that shading. I think they're just trying to show basically shading for Andre the Giant. It just looks a little bit strange to me, and it does take your eyes away. And then you do not get any kind of that shading at all in his legs. You get the straight up black boots, black singlet, things like that. Very, very weird. I'm not sure exactly why they went that way. But it doesn't look terrible, terrible, terrible. It doesn't look as good as I would like it to look. I could probably do without the shading, but you kind of get used to it when you look at it straight on. At least that's my opinion once again. The singlet is very interesting. I honestly would have preferred a cloth singlet. When I first saw this, I thought this would be like that Ringside Collectibles Undertaker exclusive that had the drop-down kind of singlet for Taker. I thought that was kind of the same thing here. It does have movability here. It does have a little bit of a movability as far as the plastic goes, but it's not quite that same material we saw with that Undertaker figure or Rick Boogs figure, for example. You're not going to be taking that down, and if you do, it might not go back up the way you want it to. And it does look a little strange because of being a plastic material. If it was soft goods, it would cling to his body a little bit. You do get some gappage right here, so it almost looks like he's sitting in a barrel, kind of. It kind of gives a barrel effect there, so it kind of looks like he's just in a barrel. That's the best way I can explain it right now. But definitely looks interesting. I have no other real anything else about this guy. Does he fit on a Ringside Collectible stand? Let's take a look at that, of course. And we should probably put him on a Mattel stand. Don't get fancy with these Jazzware stands, Kyle. What are we doing? Do we only have Jazzware stands at the table? What are we doing in this review? Going off the rails. There it is. There's a Mattel Ringside stand, of course. Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. Make sure you get the Mattel stands. Just like the others, fits perfectly on there. A very interesting Andre. But let's grab the other Andres here, and let's go in order. How about? Let's go in order, and we'll go with the first Andre, which I didn't really have a huge problem with this Andre. It wasn't my favorite, but I will say I liked kind of what they were going for, and to me this represented like comic book Andre, artwork Andre is kind of what this represented, and I felt like it got the job done. Was it perfect? Was it my favorite? Is it in my top 10 Andres of all time? Probably not, but it does look kind of like the comic version of Andre that from comic books and things like that have been out there over the years. So we did get that one first. Then we got Young Andre, which I thought was a very interesting take. We don't get a lot of Andre figures. Let's be honest. Most of the time we get an Andre the Giant figure, whatever toy line we're talking about, it is this look. At the end of the day, this is going to be his most iconic look. I don't know how you could ever doubt that. I think if you ever did a poll, this would win all day long. This is the most iconic Andre the Giant look, really because of WrestleMania 3. I think that's the way it would go. We did get his old Japan look, which I thought was really cool, but we had staining issues with this, and you guys know that really grinds my gears. Staining grinds my gears, and we had that here. Then we had the most controversial Andre the Giant figure of all time. There's no other way to put it. Maybe that Mego figure, which is obviously the worst Andre the Giant figure of all time. You're never going to change my mind on that. This one had a little bit of jaundice, had a little bit of weird shading. I think the yellow trunks against the skin tone and what they were trying to do was weird. And this one had the worst head sculpts as far as Andre went from the 4 figures here. Now, theoretically, you could pop this head off. Maybe. There you go. And you could stick one of these heads on this Andre. So maybe not exactly the time frame, but it will match, it will work. You could mix and match some of these heads. If you like 2 of the heads from this Andre and none of them from here, you could maybe move one over, do some of that if you're into that kind of thing. But you know what? This head does look better than this one. When we talked about this Andre, the yellow one, of course, it looked like he was puffing paint or he was huffing Cool Whip, Ready Whip in the back cooler. It just looked like it exploded all over his face. This does dress this one up and make this one a little bit better. I gotta be honest. If this head was on here stock, I don't know if there would have been as many complaints. Really, at the end of the day, the complaints on this one were the weird shading and the really strange head sculpts. These head sculpts are an improvement. Say what you want about Teethy Andre. It is a little different, but it is something different. At least we get 2 other options. Is a little rough. But there's the Andres. And you know what? Honestly, if I had to rank these Andre the Giant figures, I would go the first one was my favorite. Second one was second favorite. I was going to say this, but no, that's not true. I was going to say they kind of descended down. But easily this is my least favorite one, the WrestleMania 2 Andre. This one, not quite as good as these 2, But I do think there's no doubt, and I don't know if anybody could convince me otherwise, this Andre is an improvement on the last one. So at least if this is it for Andre the Giant Ultimate Editions, which I honestly think this is probably the last hurrah. I think they went off on a strong note. They went off with the most iconic Andre. Now here's the big issue. We do know Mattel has announced, and when this went up for pre-order, I think it was leaked or announced that Andre was coming to the Ultimate Edition line from Mattel. That's going to hurt Super 7 sales. There's no way about it. There's no other way around it at all, because Mattel obviously goes to regular stores. They go to the Targets, the Walmarts, things like that. Super 7, a little bit harder. You got to go online, things like that. But then you're looking at an extra price point for this Andre. Or the Mattel version, you're probably going to have a little bit more bells and whistles. Not quite the same companies when we talk volume of products, Super 7 and Mattel. Mattel can give you a little bit more bang for your buck because they have such larger production runs. So this Andre, is it the best? Absolutely not. If you're an Andre completionist, if you like Super 7 wrestling figures, if you're all in on this Andre line, I can see you picking this one up. Of course, you got to get a deal. Like I said, Entertainment Earth, you can save 10% on this guy right now. That would be my recommendation. That's what I did. I said, I got to save, got to get a deal, and that's what I did. I got a deal off this guy. So an interesting one. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on these Andre the Giants. Put them in order if you can. Might as well do a ranking video. Let's just pretend it's Thursday. It's Thursday somewhere. Let's rank these guys together. But I truly do think this one was an improvement on this one. Not so much on these two. So it's kind of somewhere in the middle with this Andre. And it'll be interesting to see once that Ultimate comes out. We'll do a comparison with those in that video, of course. But you guys, like I said, tell me your thoughts on this Andre. You made it this far, you might as well thumbs up the video, give it the old like. Subscribe to this very YouTube channel as we're unboxing everything. Let's be honest, we're unboxing it all here on the channel. And we're unboxing it early, and we're unboxing even more over there on the old Patreon. And it truly is your best way to support the channel and all the content. Exclusive videos, Q&As, giveaways, you name it. A lot going on the old Patreon channel. A lot going on over at Pro Wrestling Tees. You can also support the channel picking up a t-shirt. And then don't forget to follow along and hit me up on social media. SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for Andre the Giant, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.